First of all, thank you for joining us. As we do every single Thursday at 11 a.m., we come with the Freedom Webinar. We try very hard to bring you a ton of information every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So as mentioned before, we've got Tuesday tips with Rosie. We've got Unplugged Wednesdays with Coach Rob. And then we've got myself on Thursday. So all you got to do, honestly, is if you go to thefreedomcoaching.com, you register one time, you'll get reminders for each of the classes that we're doing. And if anything new pops up, we'll let you guys know. Something coming up also, just some updates. I'm going to be doing myself and Coach Rob and Pavan Argawal, who is the owner of Angel AI, which is the AI technology that I brought into the class a couple times. That is kind of like a real estate assistant, mortgage assistant. We're going to be doing a 6-city tour in Florida, and we're going to be doing a 4-city tour in Texas coming up in a couple months. So September will be in Texas, October will be in Florida, and then November 9th, we're hosting the New You Real Estate Conference with Tom Ferry in New York. So if anybody feels like going to New York in the cold November, jump out there. We keep the tickets, like, dude, to see Tom Ferry live is easily like $300, $400, $500 tickets, and that's just general admission, right? We keep it very, very cheap, typically under $100 to come to our New Year Recon, and he does the entire morning, followed by typically Pavan, and then I take up a good portion of the afternoon, and then we have some great panelists. So it's a great day, New Year Recon in New York. You're gonna really love it. The team does a fantastic job of putting that together and really bringing it to life. So I think you guys are really gonna enjoy it. So tune in for that. I think you'll love it. And last but not least, every single Thursday we come in here and we do some amazing stuff. So first thing you got to do is go to the chat box and type it out. Some of you know what to type out, others don't. Maybe this is your first time with me. If this is your first time with me, go into the chat box and type out, "It's a freedom day." And I'm going to stand up because, I don't feel comfortable giving you this presentation sitting on my bum, okay? So I'm going to stand up and hang out with y'all. I like the energy that comes out of my system when I stand up. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Catherine. Amazing seeing you guys. And so today we're going to focus on listings, right? So our company's doing like this crazy thing. We're doing a listing blitz for the month. And so that kind of encouraged me to say, well, we should talk about how we should be getting more listings. Then I started to do some data research, right? And so data research shows that it's consistent what's happening in the market today. Buyers are accustomed, they're getting used to the new interest rates, they really are. They're opening up their minds to the possibility of buying even with this new interest rate. What's the problem though? Low inventory, right? And so it's completely up to us to go create inventory. How can we create inventory? But Dave, people have interest rates that are so low that they don't want to sell their property. And listen, by the way, I get it. I say it all the time. I can't sell my house. I have a 2.75 interest rate, okay, on a jumbo loan. I can't sell my house, okay? Jumbo loan right now, 9%. Where am I going to go, right? But here's the thing. If a crazy situation happens in my life that changes my life environment, then maybe I have to sell. Maybe I have a no choice situation, right? Maybe everybody hates me as a coach one day and I don't make money anymore, right? Anything can happen, And so life happens. This is something I want to say to everybody because I get nobody is selling right now, yet there's inventory on the MLS. I get agents aren't making money, yet there's money to be made, right? I get there's no way to get listings, yet the people that I talk to that say there's no way to get listings have not done anything to get listings. There are no systems in place. There's nothing happening. And so we're going to go through this presentation. I actually created this presentation in early 2020 before COVID. And I went through the presentation. I made a couple adjustments. So believe it or not, everything in there is no different than the conversation we're going to have right now. Why? Prior to COVID, it was a normalized market. Post-COVID is when we had the crazy boom, right? So the presentation was created prior to COVID when we were expecting, okay, what are we going to do in 2020? Let's get these listings up and running, right? And so I think it's imperative for every single one of you to 100% begin to focus. I know Kat's really good at this because I know her personally, but really focus on listings. You're going to get buyers, right? But you either work those buyers or leverage those buyers. If you can really focus on getting more listings in your pipeline, the buyers will come. Kat can probably be a testament to this because she focuses on listings more. You can easily pick up 3 new buyers for every listing you put on the market. It really all depends on how you market your listing. Are you putting out information? Are you sending postcards? Are you doing social media ads? Do you have landing pages? Do you have squeeze pages created? Right? Like all of that matters. And the way that you present yourself at a listing appointment matters, right? These things go a very, very long way. So today I'm going to give you 8 tips. Like I said, I created this early 2020. I'm going to give you 8 tips on creating new listing opportunities and how to get more listings in today's market. Do you have to intently apply all 8? No. But if you chose when and went at 100 miles an hour on it, you'd probably get some more listings. If you chose 3 and went 100 miles an hour on it, you probably get more listings than the person who chose 1. If you had enough leverage in your business to apply all 8, I'm going to say this very clearly. If you have enough leverage in your business to apply all 8, then there's nothing that stops you. You're a locomotive that can't be stopped. Okay, unlike our trains in Miami that cars always get in front of, right? Like you can be a train that consistently moves and never stops, doesn't pick up passengers, doesn't drop off passengers, keeps a massive consistency. Imagine that, right? So I'm gonna share my screen with you guys, this presentation style. I'm gonna share my screen with you guys because I really want to hone in on these and more than anything, I love to be respectful for everyone's time. So, Mike, you see my screen okay?
Yeah, Roger.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, guys, so we're gonna go through this real quick. First of all, these are gonna be the top 8 hacks to getting more listings in today's market, right? And so the first one is, and like I said, we're going to get into this quick, okay? The first one is very easy. Your phone is your #1 lead source. I think a lot of people forget this. I think a lot of people bring some sort of weird imbalance to what they could create just by picking up their phone and making some phone calls, right? And so here's some quick tips that I'm going to give you for your phone as your #1 lead source. There are different ways to go about this. One thing that I've told everybody is if you grab your phone, right, and you go to your phone, you swipe up and you go to contacts, okay? I'm doing it right now live with you. You go to contacts and you go to your cloud base and you go to Z, okay? I'm in Z, okay? And you scroll to the very bottom, you can see how many contacts you have in your phone. If you look at mine, I have 4,628 contacts with only 43 duplicates that I need to fix. All right, so that means there's easily 4,500 plus contacts in there that I could create business with. And so what I tell folks is you want to start at A and go to Z and touch base with everybody. If you didn't want to do that a year ago, fine, because a year ago you were getting deals. Now deals are a lot harder to come by, right? So if you don't want to do it now, there are job applications being taken at TGI Fridays every day. McDonald's, Burger King, TGI Fridays, right? If you're high class and sexy and fancy, you go to Prime 112. That's cool too. I'm sure they're hiring, right? But I'm being 100% honest with you. If we don't communicate with people, we will not have sales. It just won't happen. Just won't happen. Go from A to Z and contact everyone. Is it another realtor? Who cares? Hey, by the way, most of the realtors that are in your phone over the next 12 months will decide to go somewhere else and submit an application. And then they're going to say, hey, I'm just picking names. I picked on you, Kat, enough. They're going to say, Julio, listen, man, I still have my license, but I'm not doing real estate. Somebody's looking for a property. I just don't have time. Can I refer this to you for 25, 30%? I'll take that all day. So communicating with real estate agents is just as important. Lenders. I just heard an insurance agent the other day say they're getting their real estate license. and insurance agents getting their real estate license. Lenders are going to be getting their real estate license. Everybody's doing this, right? And so why not have communication opportunities with them? By the way, a lot of these newer agents, or if you are a newer agent, consider yourself leverage. You should be, if you're a newer agent, you should be reaching out to higher level agents and going, hey, by the way, there's something that you can't ever do. I'm happy to take 30% of the deal and work it for you. I'll go to the appointments. I'll open the door. I'll go to inspection. I'll go to the appraisal. I will free up significant time from you. Just leverage me and let me go get some field experience. Huge. That's leverage. That's how you build. That's how you scale up, right? And so with your phone, you get from A to Z and you start making some daggone phone calls. Now, there are easy ways to do this. If you want to clean it up, there's an app called SA Contacts, right? So I'm going to bring it up, put it on the screen so you can see it. SA Contacts. It looks like this right here, okay? SA Contacts. All right, download that app. In that app, what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to download all your contacts from your phone and email them to yourself in Excel spreadsheet. And then this is the challenge that I'll give you. And I give this challenge at least 10 times a year. Majority of people don't do it. Now you have to freaking do it, okay? Download the list, look at the Excel spreadsheet. Me, I got 4,600 contacts. To be super daunting to look at this Excel spreadsheet, right? I'm going to be like, oh my God, I'm already overwhelmed and I haven't even touched it. But I want you to go through it carefully and delete all the non-essential numbers, right? Like my non-essential numbers would be the VA hotline, right? Like to call the VA, right? Baptist Hospital, like the main numbers to CVS, you know, things like that that I have saved, you know, lead coming in, right? Because I have systems where I get leads, so I name them like lead, pick up the phone, right? And so I delete all that information. Then I start from the top. So now I've gotten out all the phone numbers that don't make any sense to what I'm doing for a living, right? Then I go back to the top and I'm going to find every realtor. And I'm going to move them to another sheet. So, you know, in Excel, you can have sheets, tabs on the bottom, right? So all the realtors are going to go to a separate sheet because my script for realtors will be significantly different than my script for potential buyers and sellers. Separate them, okay? Then go back to your potential client list, start from the top and call every single person to confirm their phone number and email address. That's what you're going to do. That's it. That's it. Phone call goes something like this. Hey, Carlos, what's up? How you doing, man? Good to connect with you. It's been a while. Hey, listen, Carlos, I got your email as carlosgutierrez@gmail.com. I just wanted to confirm that's still correct. Yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, is it okay with you if I put you on my email campaign list? I promise I'm not going to bombard you with a bunch of crap all the time, but you know, I'm in real estate. And because I'm in real estate, I usually send out market data and things like that and interesting things that are happening in the community. And I would love to have you become a part of that. Very rarely when you come across somebody that actually like has the phone, you have their phone number, it means that you've communicated with them before. They'll say, sure. Very rarely you're going to get a no on that. This is like the easiest, smoothest way to make things happen. It's your sphere of influence, right? Carlos is going to say, sure, man, no problem. Just don't overdo it. And I go, hey, listen, man, if you ever get an email from me that you don't feel like reading, there's a little checkbox right next to my name. You click that, hit delete, you're okay. Just don't unsubscribe because you never know when you're going to leave. Have this conversation with Carlos, right? And then I get through that entire list. Now, here's the thing I'm going to tell you right now. If you have more than 500 contacts on your phone, I personally guarantee you that you will get a deal out of this. Personally guarantee it. You will get a deal out of this. You know I'm in real estate, so I like to keep you updated, right? This is what I said, right? I made sure to put my business out there. And then I wouldn't be afraid to say, hey, Carlos, by the way, I know I'm going to send you my emails and stuff like that, but if you or anyone you know ever needs a realtor, I'd really like to be top of mind for you. Can you do that for me? Can you commit to me that I can be top of mind realtor for you? And then, of course, in South Florida, Carlos is going to say, well, my cousin, my sister, and my uncle are all realtors. I'm just kidding, right? But it's true. It's true. But he's going to say, there's no way in the world Carlos goes, no, bro, I hate you. I never want to talk to you. Why would I keep you top of mind? If it's somebody that I know hates me, I'm probably going to have them deleted from the list. I'm not going to be calling them, right? But Carlos is going to go, yeah, absolutely, Dave, sure. But here's the thing. You're going to get that commitment from Carlos. I'm going to get that commitment from Carlos. I'm going to pull it from him. But then it's my responsibility to consistently remind Carlos what I do for a living, which is why there are emails consistently going out, which is why when I get to Z, I'm going to start back at A again. And I would have added new people to my list. Why did I add new people to my list? Because some of those people that I spoke to, like Carlos, is just say, you know what, man, my sister's been on the hunt. She's having trouble. Or, hey, I have a cousin that's been trying to sell their house for 6 months with no movement. And I'm going to say, you know what? Do they have a realtor? Yes, they do. Okay, well, I can't solicit them, but should they call me for advice? Yeah, that's okay. Right? Just give them my phone number. If they call me and they need advice on anything, I'm happy to help them. And in that phone call, I won't solicit, but I will give tremendous value on that phone call. So much value that should that contract expire, I'll be the first phone call those folks make. This is what we're doing, putting ourselves in the position to win instead of sitting at home hoping somebody saw our post about how cool we are as real estate agents. Y'all with me? All right. So if you're with me, go ahead and type in that chat box, say I'm with you. I want to see this, right? I need to see the chat box say I'm with you, okay? Because this is huge, guys, all right? Now, when you do this, remember, you're updating your email addresses, you're updating your phone numbers. When you get from A to Z with all fresh emails and phone numbers and everything, where do you think this list is going to go? This list is going to go directly uploaded to a CRM with an automated campaign that goes out consistently. And you don't have to create emails all the time. So you're going to create automation behind it. You're going to stay in front of people. Okay? All right. Next thing is free CMAs for all. Here's a great one. When you're on those phone calls, and I say, hey, Carlos, do you happen to own a home? And Carlos is going to say, yes. As a matter of fact, Carlos, let's role play this. Unmute yourself, man.
All right.
All right. So we're in the call already. I'm going to say, hey, Carlos, do you happen to own or rent?
I'm renting right now.
You're renting? No, let's be a homeowner. All right. So, let's go.
I am a homeowner, but I wasn't sure which role you wanted
me to
play.
I want to go homeowner because I want to talk about CMA. So we're going to go this way, right?
All right.
So I would say, hey, Carlos, do you happen to own a home or do you rent?
I own.
Oh, that's awesome. Where's your house located?
In Cape Coral, Florida.
Awesome, man. I love Cape Coral. Such a beautiful place. Hey, check this out, Carlos. If you give me your address, right, I can put you into my system. And my system, every 3 months, is going to send you an automated value analysis of your home. Would that be okay with you?
Oh, wow. That's cool. Yeah, sure.
Right? Now we're going to pause for a second. Here's the crazy part. Every homeowner wants to know what their home value is.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They just don't want to ask anybody. Okay? Then now we're going to pick up again. I go, hey, Carlos, not only am I going to do that, is it okay if by the end of the day today, I email you just a CMA on your property so you can see what it's worth today? And then, like I said, every 3 months, you'll get a nice little update.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. All right, cool. I'll have that created for you today. It'll go out by email. If you have any questions about it, just respond back to the email or give me a call, text message, shoot an SOS signal, throw out the bad signal. I catch them all, I see them all, and I'll be in contact with you.
That's great.
All right. So you can mute yourself again. So do you see where this phone call is going? Right. I'm going to give Carlos a CMA. I'm going to give him the value of his home today before the close of business. And then I am going to put him on an automated market update through my CMA system, through my Chime, I use Chime, right? To give them a 100% CMA every single week. And then guess what? What if Carlos gets a CMA and goes, oh shoot, my house is worth what? And then calls me back up and says, Dave, are you serious about this number? Yes, I am. What? All right, so let me ask you this, because I've been thinking about moving to, like, I don't know, Chattanooga, Tennessee, right? And so how long do you think it would take to sell my property? Now we're on a call. Now we're getting shit done, right? Now we're excited. Okay, so free CMAs for all. Next thing is, this is a one key thing that I really enjoy, and I do it for some listings and not all listings. I'm actually thinking about going all listings now. Offer pre-listing inspections to your potential sellers. I'm not telling you to pay for them. What I am telling you is that we go and when I'm at a listing appointment, I say to my sellers, one of the things that we do when you work with us is we get a pre-listing inspection completed on the house so that we can have a preliminary view on anything any buyer would come in to do and try to negotiate price on, so we can get ahead of the game. And then I get them to hire my inspector. Now, what I tell my inspector is, hey, buddy, listen, I know you charge $350 for a normal buyer inspection, but I'm gonna need you to give my sellers a discount because they're inspecting only to find out what they need to fix to get the deal done, right? Talk to your inspector. That's up to you and your inspector, right? But most inspectors will say, sure, man, I'll do 20% off or something like that and do an inspection. They love the extra business, right? And so they come in for your sellers. They do a pre-listing inspection. You sit down with your sellers, you go through the inspection with them, and then you choose what you want to focus on and fix, right? Like if the house needs a new roof, it's up to you to do a value analysis on whether or not you can negotiate a lower price than what it will cost them to do a new roof, right? Like if they're gonna have to give a $10,000 credit rather than spend $50,000 on a roof, then the credit is better than the roof, right? And so these are the kinds of things you can help analyze. This is going to help you get more listings. When you're sitting at that listing appointment, you're saying, one of the things that we do is we do a pre-listing inspection, right? So I'm sitting with Julio and I go, Julio, man, I know you're excited to sell your house. One thing that we do differently than most other agents is we like to have a pre-listing inspection done with our certified home inspector. This is going to give you and I the opportunity to review an inspection prior to putting it on the market, so that when a buyer comes in with an offer, we know that we have a strong offer that will have minimal negotiation tactic to it, because we won't get surprised by their inspection, right? Kathy, you had a question? You can go ahead and unmute yourself. Hold on, Kathy had a question. Let's go.
I love that idea. Do you suggest that we pay for that upfront, or say it's something we'll reimburse you at closing?
So some agents pay it up front, some agents do the reimbursement, and some agents just tell the seller, hey, it's going to cost you this much. And that's it. It's just a conversation to be had, right? When you're presenting it at the listing appointment, most of the time you don't even discuss the cost. But what I would say is it's completely up to you, right? Now, something I would be cool with doing is reimbursing at the closing table. Hey, by the way, when we get to the closing table, I'll reimburse you the money that it costs to do the inspection, so you're good to go. Right now, I also like to take this inspection and load it into the MLS, and the things that were fixed, I make marks next to it. This was repaired, this was repaired, this was repaired. And what has happened in some cases is the buyers haven't even done their own inspection because we already took care of it. And so it makes the process quicker. Inspection periods are much lower, and it makes it a little more exciting for the seller.
Thank you.
Yes, Julio.
It's funny because I'm actually right now just went to a listing appointment the day before yesterday, and exactly the same scenario as rolling out. The roof is kind of old, and I suggested the inspection, and I'm working on getting the inspection done, and I'm looking to get an inspector to do that same scenario you're explaining. I'm doing it right now.
That's awesome. Hey, Kat, imagine if you could talk to an inspector locally, right? Like Julio's getting an inspection right now. Imagine if you could speak to an inspector locally and say, hey, check this out. This is what I need. I need to do a deal with you. You know, I have a transaction coordinator, and I only pay her if the deal closes. Would you be down to do something like that with me? and then I'll cover the cost. Right? So like, hey, do the inspection for me, and when the deal closes, I'll pay you.
Oh, well,
So
that would be really nice if we
right,
find someone like that.
right, right. And some people would do it, you know, but it's just an opportunity. It's our ability to negotiate the situation for the best situation, right? But
I love
honestly,
the idea. I'm gonna do that.
yeah. And in my case, most of the time, seller just pays the inspection. I go, hey, listen, these inspections typically, by the way, are like $300, $400 for your style house. I'm gonna get it for you for $100 off, okay? And so he'll be here on Tuesday. I don't even ask if that's okay, right? Like he'll be here on Tuesday, and the seller's like, yeah, okay, let's do it, right? Like, you know. And so
Or
we
maybe
have to
pay,
stop.
or maybe pay 50% upfront and then 50% at closing, something like that.
It's too much negotiation, right? Like just ask them. Like my TC doesn't charge me 50% upfront, right?
Right.
And she does a shit ton of work in the middle. And if it doesn't close, like my poor TC went through a client with me through 4 different deals. She should earn four times the amount that she earned, but she got the 350 when it closed, right?
Right.
All right, guys. So moving on to the next piece. I hope this was helpful, right? So methodical IG and Facebook stories. I'm really big on stories. I'm really big on social media. You guys know that. I believe in consistent posting wins the game, right? So if you're posting 1 to 2 times a week, you're way too slow. You're getting beat out. If you're posting 1 time a day, you're way too slow. You're getting beat out. That's the craziness of this. The suggestion now is to be posting 3, 4 times a day. And honestly, it doesn't always have to be this crazy, like, you know what I mean? Like you can do one post with a quick video. You can do another post with a picture. You can do another post because you were at lunch having a great, you know, sandwich. You can do another post about a meeting you just had. You do another post about a listing. Just left the listing appointment. Went really well. Looking forward to putting up a house in the Western market, right? And so, and that just continues to bring traction and attention to you, right? You know, hey, today's my dog's birthday. Like I posted the other day a picture of my dog. He had like a little meat stick out the side of his face. Everybody says that me and my dog look alike. I smoke cigars. So they were like, look, Sarge has a cigar, you know? And so I post that, right? I'm very big about getting these stories out here, but here's some examples of things that you can post. You can post the state of the market, like state of the union almost, right? Like, hey, this is what's happening in the market. This is like a once a month thing, right? You don't have to do this every single time, but there's somebody that I would tell you guys to follow. Her name is Anna. You can find her on social media as Anna Analytics. And so Anna is incredibly intelligent. She does amazing market reports. She's very much focused on Miami. So those of you that are not in Miami, that's okay. Just pay attention to what she's doing and how she analyzes things and how she puts it out to the market, okay? And then the next thing is photos of a home with a caption. Is this your dream home? You know, or what is it about this home that you love? Ask questions. That's where the polls come in, right? Do you have plans in selling? Look, I left that 2020 there by accident, right? Do you have plans in selling this year? If so, why? What? You know, can you imagine how many people going in there would be like, yep, I'm thinking about selling this year because, you know, my kids are going to college and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, you know what's coming next, right? I'm going to send a direct message to that person. Every single person that answers is getting a direct message from me. And I'm going to continue to have these conversations. Every single person that answers, I'm sending a direct message, right? And I'm getting in their faces. All right, next thing is go back to your old deals and clients. Listen, I see some faces in here that have been in the business for a long damn time. And you guys have closed so many deals. And I guarantee you that you are not 100% in communication with every single one of your old clients. You need to go back to your old clients and your old deals. And when I say old deals and clients, it's because there are deals that don't close, right? Clients are the ones you close. Deals are the ones that you close and don't close, right? And so go back to everyone you've ever dealt with, everyone you've ever showed a house to, everyone you've ever had a listing appointment with, every single person. You went to a listing appointment, you didn't win it, and you still have their information and it's been a year and they sold their house already and whatever, just call them, talk to them. Hey, listen, man, I sat with you for a listing appointment about a year ago and I didn't win the listing, but I just want to check in with you, see how things went with the sale of your house. You know, how was everything? Who did you end up using? Oh, that's fantastic, right? Because you know what's not happening? The person that worked with them is not communicating with them. Same as many of you are not communicating with people you've already worked with, which, by the way, these are your number one freaking fans, right? Like, like imagine, here's Bob and Sue. Bob and Sue want to buy a house. It's the first time they're ever going to buy a house. They're super excited. They're emotional. They cried at the closing table. You are their hero. And then after closing, you never spoke to them again. What a jerk, right? Think about that for a minute. Okay, so go back to your old deals and clients, revive those communications, revive those relationships, get back into hero, put the cape back on, get that S on your chest, and get back to talking to them and let them know that you're still here for them, right? Now, some additional tips when you're talking about old clients, right? Think of the both sides. Yes, both sides. There's a buyer and seller in each of those transactions. If the transaction has closed, the other person is no longer bound to a contract with their agent. They no longer have an agent. That agent is no longer, that client is no longer belong to that agent. So communicate with them too. So if you had a listing and you sold the house and there's a new person living in that house, you should be in high levels of communication with the new homeowner. Even though they weren't your client, they can be in the future. And those who stay in the game the longest will win. We'll have a slide for that too, right? So if Kathy has a house for sale, well, Kathy's not here right now, so I'm gonna use somebody else. Let's say Julio has a house for sale and he hires me to be his listing agent, okay? And I represent Julio. Carlos comes in represented by Kathy. Carlos buys the house. Julio moves to, I don't know, North Carolina, right? I'm going to stay in touch with Julio all the time because I want Julio to call me always. Because should he decide to sell his house in North Carolina or buy somewhere else, I want to be the agent that refers an agent so that A, I can make sure I'm taking care of my people, and two, I make 25%. Why not? Right? And then the other thing I'm going to do is I am going to stay in high levels of communication with Carlos because he now lives in the house that I helped sell to him, which means he lives in my farm area. Which means when Carlos goes to list his house or has a cousin that wants to live in the neighborhood or whatever the case is, if for any reason he did not have the best, most exciting, enjoyable experience with his realtor, he'll remember me. And if for some reason, which is about 95% of the chance of time, that his realtor did what almost every realtor does, closed them and never spoke to him again, I'm going to be the one talking to him all the time. I'm going to knock on his door from time to time. I'm going to send him handwritten note cards. I'm going to call and check up on him and see how he's doing. But Dave, you don't have his phone number. You know who does? The title company. Hey, by the way, title company, right? Carlos Gutierrez purchased my listing at this, and this. Can I get their phone number? I have some information for him. Done. Title companies can give you the phone number. They have no fiduciary responsibility there. Get the phone number, get the email address, get as much information as anyone is willing to give you. And if you can't get a phone number or or an email, go. You know where they live. You sold that. Go knock on their door. Say, hey, Carlos, man, I'm the realtor that had the listing for this house that you're living in now. How you liking it? How you love the neighborhood? Hey, have you tried Tino's Pizza on the corner? It's amazing. You got to take the kids there, right? Like, build the relationship, have the communication, right? So do CMAs for clients that have lived in the house for more than 2 years and just automatically give it to them. Don't even ask them. If you sold somebody a house more than 2 years ago, do a CMA for them, see if there's an improvement in price and send it to them. Hey, let me pick up. Hey, Penny, what's up, man? You've been living in your house for a couple of years now. I just want to say what's up. By the way, I emailed you. I'm sure hopefully you still have the same email, but I emailed you a CMA on your property, right? So this is a comparative market analysis that's going to tell you what your house is worth now on your 2 years after you've owned the property. Handwritten notes is a really big thing. And then ask for the business. Any thoughts of trading up or down, right? Hey, any thoughts of selling your house and going bigger or smaller? I'm here to help you out. Are you thinking about moving anytime soon? Don't leave any open-ended questions like that, where you kind of leave the air open. Ask direct questions. Are you thinking about moving anytime soon? Do you or anybody you know, or is there anyone you know looking for a house right now that you're aware of? Great. Can you refer me to this person? Guess what the easiest way to refer me is, Carlos? All you got to do is put me in contact with that person together in a text message. Give me a warm introduction. I'll take over from there. Right? All right, 7. A home closes in your market area. Control the reaction from the neighbors. So this is where people look at me with a twisted look, right? Like the eyes get crossed and your head bounces sideways. John Smith from ABC Realty comes in, puts a sign in the yard in your market area. Not your listing. House sells. Not your listing. John Smith leaves the area, never comes back. You create a market report based on the sale of that house and go knock on 50 doors and tell the neighbors, hey, did you see 123 Main Street just sold for X amount of dollars? And guess what that did for value in the neighborhood? Control the reaction from the neighborhood. Run ads. 123 Main Street just sold, blah, 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 for this much money. Are you saying you sold it? No. You're just saying it sold, and this is what happened with the market area. That's it. But if you control the reaction from the neighbors will then understand that it is you. Their assumption is not your problem. The one thing that they do know, you know the neighborhood, you know when houses sell, you know what it does to the market value, you know how the market's moving. So when they're intending to sell, what do you think they should do? Call you or John Smith they've never heard from before? It's going to be you. It's going to be you. Because you're going to do something that John Smith's not going to do. You're going to knock on doors and let everybody know. You're going to send postcards to 100 homes. You're going to go and do a social media ad about it to the circumference of that neighborhood. You are going to control the reaction from the neighbors. All right, number 8, tend to FSBOs more than anybody else. Look, there's going to be a ton of for sale by owners out there, and you need to tend to these folks more than anybody else. And this is the thing. The first time you speak to a FSBO, they don't want to talk to you. The second time you speak to a FSBO, they don't want to talk to you. The third time you speak to a FSBO, they'll pay you if you bring a buyer. The fourth time you speak to a FSBO, you know, they'll ask you if you got any buyers. The fifth time you speak to a FSBO, they'll let you do an open house at their property. The ninth time you speak, you see what I'm doing here? Most people stopped at 1 and 2. You're at 9 doing an open house for a property that's not your listing. Pick up some buyers. Why not? Right? Consistent. You know what, Kat? Not selling it on my own. You've been the most consistent person to communicate with me. Can you list my house? It's a long game. Kat's like, yeah, 100%. It's a long game move, but it works, right? Because the value is in that follow-up. The agent that follow-ups most wins, period in the story. This is what it boils down to. The agent that follows up simply wins, okay? All right, so I'm going to close out. Listen, if you guys are not following me on Instagram, David Adam Kurz on Instagram and Facebook. YouTube, I've got like 800 plus videos on YouTube. So jump into YouTube, search for David Adam Kurz, and then join the Freedom Achiever Academy. You got to join the Freedom Achiever Academy. It is the most amazing thing that I've ever created. I'm super excited to have created the Freedom Achiever Academy. I will tell you this, right now, it's $149 a month with a 7-day free trial. On the first of the month, it's moving up to $249 a month. And then after about 90 days, we're probably gonna move up to $349 a month. So we're still in the early stages, 350 plus coaching and training videos in there. Sign up for it. Mike, can you put the link in there for everybody? It's a ton of training, a ton of me, I'll be honest, and a ton of videos with a ton of me. We're working and it's forever evolving. So if you join today, you're going to get a ton of great videos. And then what you'll see evolving over the next couple of months is additional videos coming in, additional courses coming in. We're working on an AI course for the class. So rather than create an AI course and sell it to the world for $500-600, I'm just going to keep adding things to this platform. And this platform is just going to continue to grow. By the end of the year, it'll be at 1,000. And so I want to see a lot of you guys in there doing this thing. This weekly coaching is huge for me. And I'm glad that you guys are part of this. But in 2024, this is going to dwindle down to once or twice a month. There are 100 reasons behind that. And we'll get into that once we get into it. But the training will be significantly more powerful. It'll probably last an hour and a half, and we're going to have a ton of information, a ton of fun. So does anyone have any questions for me? Oh, wait, Cassie, do you pay upfront? Okay, you already asked that. Have you used a handyman or contractor to do this, or only professional inspectors? I only use, so Jasmine asked, do you use a handyman or contractor to do the initial inspection, or are you only using professional inspectors? I only use professional inspectors so that I get the report. And then as we fix things, I can notate on the report what we fix. And then I put this report in the MLS as an added document so that realtors that are looking at the property, I can put in the broker remarks. Inspection has been completed on the home and inspection results are in the added docs. They can download them, they can look at them. It does a couple things. One, if the home has too many issues, it avoids you having to show properties to people that are definitely not going to buy. Two, you know, it lets people know that you've done the due diligence and this is probably going to be a very easy sale. Realtors, if I'm a realtor and you've already done the inspection, on the report it says everything that you fixed already, I feel more comfortable bringing my client there because I know it's not going to fall apart on inspection. Right, so the work that we're putting in is more excited. So I do that. Another tip that came to mind is use LPT bots to promote. Yeah, if you're with LPT, that's a big promotion opportunity. A lot of people in this call are not, but you know, you have to use the tools that your brokerage provides. And then, you know, like so many brokerages are racing to provide a ton of tools to their agents. The crazy shit is that most agents won't use the tools. Use the tools. Whatever your brokerage provides you, use the daggone tools, man. I mean, it's there for a reason. They're paying money for it. You're paying money to them to be a part of the brokerage, right? So use the tools that they provide you and use them to the max capability that you can. All right. Do you do wind mid as well? So Kim, no, typically I don't. This is just a general inspection. I don't. So for Florida agents, we have to do a wind mitigation and a 4-point inspection for insurance purposes. That's not the same in every state, but no, it's just a general inspection. We don't do all that other stuff. Now, if the inspector wants to do it and it's included in the price, fine. You know, if the price is not going to change, why not? But no, I'm very much focused on just the general inspection. All right. Any other questions? Mike, do we have any questions on social media? Just to double check. Anything in the group?
None so far, sir.
All right. Sounds good. All right, guys. Have a blessed day. We're right on time. I think it's 11:51 over there. Have a great day. Have a great week. We'll see you guys next week. I think next week we're going to do a listing presentation. You guys want to do that? Yeah, thumbs up if you want to do a listing presentation. I'll show you my method on listing presentations. And then, you know, I just really want to see you guys become listing heavy. Okay. All right. See you guys soon. Enjoy.